So, some sad news to start this week. We're reflecting on the passing of Tom Lehrer. He was 97.
97, yeah, a real icon.
Definitely an icon. And such a fascinating figure, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, a masterful musical satirist
hmm
and also a brilliant mathematician. It's that combination, that fusion, a real polymath.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That term really fits him perfectly.
And his work, I mean, think about songs like Poisoning Pigeons in the Park. So dark, but so funny.
Oh, yeah, classic dark
And
humor.
the elements just
Yeah.
perfectly put together.
Technically brilliant.
And then the really biting stuff like the Vatican Rag, his work it sticks with you. It really left the mark. Unforgettable, really.
It really is unforgettable. And what's amazing when you look at his actual output, it
Yeah.
wasn't, dozens and dozens of albums. It was a relatively small discography.
Yeah, quite small, actually.
But the impact, his influence on comedy and on music, too, is just immense.
Yeah.
It's quite remarkable how much punch those few songs packed.
It really is astonishing. That
Yeah.
profound mark, like you said, from such a, quote, contained body of work. So let's maybe unpack that a bit. Why was it so huge? Okay, let's try and figure this out. What made his stuff last? Inspiring people decades later, artists like Weird Al Yankovic or Rachel Bloom.
Right, yeah.
And how did his background, being a mathematician and those pretty unusual career choices he made, how did that shape the whole legacy?
Well, I think part of the enduring appeal beyond the obvious sharp wit was something maybe less obvious. It was the almost mathematical precision in how the songs were built.
Oh, interesting. Go on.
He constructed his jokes, his lyrics, almost like theorems, There's a setup, a development, and then a payoff that feels inevitable, perfectly logical, even when it's completely absurd.
Oh, right. Like a logical conclusion to a ridiculous premise.
Exactly. And they were dense, packed with ideas, but they felt effortless. He could take these complex, sometimes taboo subjects and make them digestible, even catchy, because the structure was so perfect.
So that structure, that precision, that's kind of the Lehrer lesson, maybe, for tackling tricky subjects.
I think so, yeah. It's about clarity and structure, even in satire, maybe especially in satire.
Researching this, what really struck me was just how unique his whole past was. I mean, starting out in the 50s, doing music, but at the same time, studying and teaching math at Harvard.
Can you imagine?
It's hard to picture now, isn't it? Doing both at that level.
Totally. And then later he went on to teach math at UC Santa Cruz. And then, of course, he famously just stopped performing publicly pretty early on, relatively speaking.
Yeah, he sort of stepped away from the limelight.
He really did.
And if we, connect that decision and others to the bigger picture, it wasn't just about him wanting privacy, perhaps.
Okay.
That remarkable move he made much later, releasing all his songs into the public domain, I think you mentioned, by 2022.
Yeah, that's right. All of it. That's huge.
Yeah.
It means anyone can use them, share them, build on them freely. No copyright hurdles. That decision, I think, is absolutely pivotal. It basically ensures his legacy lives on, openly accessible to everyone.
That's a really profound statement, isn't it? About art and knowledge and just letting it be out there.
It really is. It speaks volumes about how he saw the value of his own work in society, not just as entertainment, but as something to be shared.
So, thinking about all this,
Yeah.
what does it all mean for you listening? How can we maybe take something from Lehrer's approach? Well, I guess he showed us you can mix that sharp, biting satire with real intellectual depth. You don't have to choose.
Right.
You make complex things accessible, even entertaining, without dumbing them down.
Yeah.
It's about finding that humor, maybe the unexpected truth, and presenting it with, well, like you said, that elegant precision.
That elegant precision, exactly. And maybe finding the connections between seemingly different fields.
Yeah, like math and music. Which brings us to maybe a final thought or question, really.
Yeah.
This raises, I think, an important question for you to consider. Given Lehrer's whole life, the mathematician, the satirist, side by side, and then capping it off with this final act, putting everything in the public domain, making it totally free. What does his legacy suggest to you about how art and knowledge and making things accessible, how all that intersects, and maybe what role does that play in contributing to a well-informed society?
That's a great question to ponder. The intersection of creativity, intellect, and openness. What does that model tell us? Something to think about.